right? We just discussed about, so what is an operating system, actually how it works, how the boot-in process happens in the computer. So what are the components needed for the boot-in process, and how power on self-test work, how BIOS works. So what is CMOS? We just discussed about these things last day, right? And today what we are going to discuss is, further details about the operating systems. And we just discussed about system software. System software is like something in the middle. System software is basically system software works with system software works with hardware, and in between hardware and users, actually it's dealing with hardware, working with hardware. Then application software is in the outer layer, it's dealing with the user requirements. So to work with the hardware, you need system software. Actually, what we see as the system is system software. We cannot directly see the processors or what is happening in the hardware. We cannot directly see. Utility software are actually supportive tools to the operating systems. So operating system performs some tasks. It has duties. So utility software are supportive tools to these things, right? Okay, then, so let's learn about, so then we learn about the language translators. So what are the language translators, etc. We just learn about that. And then, so there are two kind of translators, compiler and interpreter. And also there's another one called assembler. So these we will be learning again in programming in grade 11. So these language translators, that means when you write codes in high-level programming languages, what will happen, right? These high-level programming languages cannot be directly understood by the computers. Computers cannot understand that directly, because computer needs machine language. That means zeros and ones. Therefore, computer need to translate these high-level languages or our code into the machine understandable code. So language translators are working in that process. Actually, that is also coming under system software. So three categories: operating system, utility software, and language translators or program translators. These are the three categories coming under system software. Application software, there are plenty. So application software, like, so any application, photo editing, then video editing, video playing, web browsing, searching, so all these things. Right? So then importance of operating system. So let's write few facts about operating systems first. Actually, I have not yet released the, so I couldn't release the operating system part of the note. I have already prepared, but I couldn't fine tune that. That's why I didn't release. But anyway, so just write down this. So the important points, just write down. I'll give the full note after yeah, this week, I think, yeah, next week, by next week, I can provide the full note on this. So let's write down the note related to the operating system part. Just update the same, right? Just update the same. We just discussed about these facts. I think, yeah. This is related to hardware lesson. And after that, the operating system lesson, yeah, this part. This is networking, and after that, the OS part, right? Okay. So this I have to fine tune and give it to you. So just please be patient. I'll be releasing this next time. So what OS does? So last week also I said operating system works as a middleman middleman between the user and the computer hardware and provide the user interface with components. So did you write this part last day? So what OS performs? Did you write this part? Please check your note. Right, if not, right, I think we have written this part, operating system, and I think I have given these two notes. If not, please indicate, then I can give you time to copy down. Right, operating system. So let me explain this. So while so I always I always tell this, Pute, don't be zombies in the class. So please be update, or please talk, please be interactive, please send messages at least, because then only I can understand that whether you are in the class and you are doing this work. Otherwise, when you're acting like zombies, how can I predict what's going on and all? So please tell me whether you have written down this. Otherwise, I'm just using same time again for explaining and giving same note. So that is because I couldn't give the note last day, that is why I'm asking. So if not, okay, I'll explain. So I'll explain, then you have to write down. Right. Operating system is the middleman between user and the computer, and it basically performs user interface. The user interface can be command line. So Unix, Linux, MS-DOS, PC-DOS, these are the examples for command line operating systems. And it can be GUI also, graphical user interface, or GUI also. This part you need to copy down quickly. So I have explained what is CLI, what is GUI. As I remember, I have explained. GUI has icons, menus, graphics, windows, etc. to interact with, but CLI is only having commands, where you need to give everything using commands. Let's see how this works. I think this note I have given already, but anyway, for those who have not copied the note, I'll give 2 minutes, only 2 minutes, right? Just take your time and write down. Right, then we discuss about the booting up process, how it happens. Right, this part, so as I can remember, I'm not going to give you time on this because I have already written down this part last day. And then about the CMOS memory, complementary metal oxide semiconductor, which is a supportive memory to read-only memory, because I said in the booting up process, ROM, read-only memory, keep programs like BIOS, which is written by the manufacturer, and those are only readable, not editable. Those are not editable, only readable. Therefore, right, since if you need to update any settings, if you need to update any settings, these read-only programs won't support, because those are read-only. Read-only. එහින්ද මොනහරි රයිට් කරන්න settings වෙනස් කරගන්න ඕන උනත් කරගන්න බෑ, configuration හදා ගන්න ඕන උනත් කරගන්න බෑ. So basically any kind of like firmware, you need some setting update, right? Then TV එකේ එවනවනේ firmware, TV එකේ එවනවා firmware, ඔයගොල්ලෝ දන්නවා brightness, contrast, colors හදා ගන්න firmware එකක් එනවා. Firmware means software installed by the manufacturer at the manufacturing plant. එතන TV එකෙත් remote එක අපි ක්‍රියාත්මක කරාම එතන එනවා පොඩි menu එකක් ඇවිල්ලා contrast, brightness, setup මේ වගේ දේවල් එනවා. The problem is that like if you want to edit the settings, අපිට ඔක වෙනස් කරන්න ඕනේ, brightness අඩු වැඩි කරගන්න ඕනේ, colors අඩු වැඩි කරගන්න ඕනේ, channel වෙනස් කරන්න ඕනේ. දැන් channel ඒවා වෙනස් කරාම කොහෙටද right වෙන්නේ? අපි setting එකක් save කරාම දැන් ඊළඟ සැරේ on කරනකොට ඒ channel එකේ on වෙන්නේ. ආයෙ මුලින් ඉඳන් අපි දාන්න ඕනේ. උදාහරණයක් විදිහට අපි සිරස දාලා off කරොත් on කරනකොට සිරස දාලාම තමයි on වෙන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ setting එක කොහේ right එක. එතකොට මේ ROM එකේ තියෙන ප්‍රශ්නේ තමයි ROM එක read only. ROM is read only, so you cannot write the settings. Therefore, in addition to ROM, there is another chip called CMOS, complementary metal oxide semiconductor, that is a writable chip. එතකොට ඒක maintain කරන පුංචි බැටරියක් motherboard එකේම තියෙනවා. That is called CMOS battery. That battery you can change. So why? Because like system clock, ඔය වගේ දේවල් maintain කරන්න, to maintain these things, you need this special powered memory, that is CMOS. Okay, so then, so let's learn about what is done by the operating system. And before that, I would like to give you some exposure into CLI operating systems, as many of you are not familiar with CLI operating systems, command line operating systems. Let me give you brief introduction to CLI before we move to the process management, memory management, this part. So let's see how CLI works. So in Linux, in Linux or Mac OS, there is a CLI called terminal. So this is also similar to CLI operating system. You can do similar tasks that is done using the operating system commands in this CLI. For an example, let me write some commands. So if I say pwd, it's printing working directory, that is C users, not C, users, Dasun Nilanjana, that is my working directory. And I can ask, who am I? Who am I? And it says Dasun Nilanjana. It says who's the user using this. And then I can say ls, that is listing all the folders and files in the current directory. ls minus l will give that details. So here you can see whether this file, whether this is a file or directory. D comes for the directory, D comes for the directory, and dash comes for the file. And it says this directory is readable and writable and executable. Readable, writable, executable. That means you can read this directory, you can see what is inside, you can write, you can create files, so create files and folders. Then execute means you can open it. And so this gives different permission. Linux has different permission format. So first it says the owner, then it says the group and others. So this folder basically owner can do anything. Then owners group members, the other group members in the same group can do anything. And also the external members can also do anything. Basically, we can call this directory is a public directory, right? So this is a public directory, but when it comes to some directories, so you can see the owner can do anything, reading, writing, execution, but other things you can see this library directory, owner can do anything, but others cannot do anything at all. All the permissions others removed. Likewise, some are having filtered permission here. Reading, writing, executing. Owners group can read and execute, but cannot write anything. Only owner can write. Others in owners group cannot write anything. Also, the readers can come, public groups can come and read this and come and open this, but they cannot also edit this. Right? This is another set of, so these are permissions. Right? You are not, maybe you are not clear since you are not using Linux or Mac OS, but let's understand this using Windows. Windows also has these features. Okay, I would like if, okay, another thing is ifconfig in Linux or Mac OS will give your network related data, network configuration. So this is why the CLI, this is what the CLI is. Everything is executed by commands. Okay, can one of you share your screen? I'll show how to use this in your computer. Quickly share. Quickly share your screen, Bhute. Okay, so let's see this resource. So what are the things done by the operating system? So we just saw how CLI works. So these are the commands that I just use, clear. So these are Linux commands, but Windows commands are different from this. Windows commands, it's different from this. Windows commands, if you want to see Windows commands, let's go to MS-DOS emulator online. So it's because I have no other option since you are not sharing your screens, right? Due to various reasons, but don't take much time to tell that when you are having such issues. Okay, this is what the display is. This is showing MS-DOS, right? Start in MS-DOS. So you can see this is emulator, right? Emulator means like it's showing how it works. To set up MS-DOS now, press enter. To continue, press enter. I'm pressing enter. To continue, okay. You can see it's like setting up DOS, and so let's press enter again because this is emulate. I'm just pressing enter. Okay, this is how earlier version of disk operating systems got installed. I just see how it happened. Like, but this part you won't see because like this is just simulating the things operating system, right? Okay. I have to select disk 2 here, disk 2, and then press enter. So because it's coming with different disks, I think I have to unload it. Let's load it. Okay. Right, you can see it's installing. Disks means these are actually floppy disks. Right, these are floppy disks. This is how the installation happened earlier days. This is totally. This is, you can see no mouse is there. All are using commands. Right, all are using the commands. You can see it's asking the floppy disk number 3. I'm setting the floppy disk number 3 and loading it. Okay. Pressing enter again. Because like this DOS has like initially, so DOS operating system, it has only the operating system, but later it has integrated some software, right? You can see here, so this PC has 640 KB RAM, 47 megabyte hard disk. So see how the computer is, this personal computer, right? So it's using 4 floppy disks to install this, and actually it's having RAM, random access memory, is 640 kilobyte, 640 kilobyte, and 47 megabyte hard disk. So very, very small one. And you can see it's installing this operating system to your that virtual computer. You can make it full screen to see. So this is how it was. It looks like at the initial stages. It seems it's installing, and let's say if there are any other issues, so let it install slowly. It will take some time. Okay, now the last part, I think the fourth disk need to be installed. So let's put the fourth one. This is disk number 4. Right. Let's load it and press enter. So this is the installation part. Actually, this has like different machines. You can use these links if you want to check this by yourself later or now. You can just go to use these links to experience. These are like old machine. You can see Windows 95 is there. So different simulations. So this is how you can see the directory listing, right? So these are the folders, files, and you can see different commands. These commands are actually the software programs inside this. For example, print is working as a software, and tree. So these are small programs, right? You can see here Windows, different things are there, right? So let's see, all these are commands. Setup, Xcopy. Do we have Dave, something like this? That is a game. No, we don't have that. Let's see after the installation. Still small part remains. Anyway, all these things having commands. All these things are working on commands. Nothing works with mouse, icon click, double click, these things, right click, menus, windows. These are not there in this operating system. So it's only command line operating system. Let's make it full screen again one more time. Just see how the installation happens, right? Okay, remove all disks and press enter. So now I have to remove this. I have to unload this. Do I have? There are different tools. I think I need to press enter again. Is now installed your computer. To restart computer, press enter. Okay, I have entered. Oh, now actually I have to remove this. Do I have a none feature is there? Let's not none, and let's press enter or auto control delete again. Okay, now you can see it started. Okay, right, you can see start in MS-DOS. No floppy disk. Floppy disk physically දාන්න ඕන පුතේ. Floppy disk කියන එක ඔයාලා මම හිතන්නේ දැකලා ඇති. සමහර විට දැකලා නැත්නම් floppy disk කියන්නේ මෙන්න මේවා තමයි ඔය මම disk 1 disk 2 කිය දැම්මේ. Floppy disk. So floppy disk that is the initial format, initially used format. මේ වගේ අපිට තිබ්බ ඉස්කෝලේ box එකක්. එතකොට මේ වගේ box එකක් තිබ්බ. එතකොට අපිට සමහරට personally මේ වගේ set එකක්ම තියෙනවා floppies. මේ floppies වල තමයි අපි data දාගෙන යන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ operating system එක ගොඩක් වෙලාවට අපි අරන් යනවා floppies වල දාගෙන. ස්කූල් එකේ අර ඔක්කොගේම ළමයින්ගේ දාන්න යාළගේ ස්කූල් එකේ තියන්න ඕන එකක් විදිහට මේ වගේ floppy disk track එකක් තියෙනවා. ඒකෙන් අපි අපේ එක තෝරා ගන්නවා. අපේ නම එහෙම ගහපු floppy disk එක. So these floppy disks are now not available because now it has very limited capacity and the durability is also very low. Again, මේක මේ පොඩ්ඩක් magnetize වුණ හැටි, magnet එකට අහුන හැටි erase වෙනවා data. ඉතින් ඔය වගේ ප්‍රශ්න හින්දා capacity එක 1.22 megabyte. Even it cannot save. Recently a modern camera photograph cannot be saved in this. Modern camera එකකින් ගන්න photo එකක්වත් save කරගන්න බෑ. Therefore this is removed. Now CDs, DVDs in the play Blu-ray, CD, DVD. These are the things. Okay, you can see it loads, start in MS-DOS, and this is what you can see after. So this is the operating system. Okay, can you at least feel this as operating system? No, right? Because no icons, no menus, nothing is there. You can see your computer started and C is there. Then whatever you need to do using commands. So for an example, if I want to see what are the directories available, I can put dir command and you can see that returns this. So please write down these commands. Just write MS-DOS commands, MS-DOS, Microsoft DOS commands. So before we begin before we begin the operating system part, just write few MS-DOS commands, Microsoft disk operating systems. That is a CLI OS or command line interface OS commands. So dir, it's listing all directories. Directories means folders, right? And files. Listing all directories and files. Then another command cd. cd is change directory. Change directory. cd is changing directory. So example cd you can use cd abc will move to abc folder if available. Then rd, remove directory. Example, you can say rd abc, remove directory abc. md, make directory. Right, these are the cd, dir, and color. Change background and foreground colors, changing foreground and background colors. Color, right? Tree commands. Listing folder tree. Listing folder tree, that is tree commands. Then, okay, ping command, ipconfig command, check network IP configuration settings. Del, delete file or folder. Copy, so that you know. copy a file or folder, then move, cut a file or folder. So these are some disk operating system commands. Please write down and indicate once you're done. Okay. Right, let's see these commands. Actually, I want to create a folder. So the command is md, make directory. Let's say my folder name is Dasun. And so let's dir now. You can see there is a folder called Dasun here. It's created dir. You can see it's created this date and time. If I want to del that, you can del Dasun. So all files in the directory will be deleted. Are you sure? Yes, I need to delete. Okay, it says file not found. So let's dir. You can see it's there. So since so this is a directory or folder, I think we have to use rd, remove directory Dasun. So then dir again, and you can see Dasun is now removed. Make directory Dasun back again. And if I want to clear the string cls, I couldn't give that command. Cls clear the string. Clear the string. It is cls. Clear the string cls. That is also a command. Let's dir again. You can see there is a folder called Dasun. If I want to go inside a folder called Kasun, I can go cd Kasun. But there is a no folder called Kasun. Therefore, if it is not valid folder, you cannot go inside. But if it is a valid folder, you can see there's a folder called Dasun. So you can go inside cd Dasun. So you can see since now we are inside cd Dasun and we are inside that. So you can see the prompt has changed. This is called C prompt. It has now changed to C Dasun. And if I dir here, it says empty. Nothing is there. Dot means the same folder. Double dot means the parent's folder. Dot. If I say cd dot, it's not going anywhere. Remaining same folder. But cd double dot will go to the parent folder. Parent folder means C drive. So going back. Going one time back. Right. Color command is basically to change the colors of the screen. That is not working. This is old version, but this is working in new version. Don't worry. So you can use color command in if you want. If you use this command prompt in Windows, you can use the color command. So here, if I want more commands, I can get help. That should display all the commands here. You can see. So these are the commands that are available. What's new in this? You can see rename, rd, remove directory. You can see QBasic here. QBasic is a programming language, right? QBasic is a programming language. And these are some other things that are available, right? CD, right? CD is change directory. Then we exit is to exit from this. And format is to format the hard disk. Right, so let's see. Let's go by one and see what else we need. We can see chkdesk check disk, and let's go one by one. So down this command from you can see this if in, so set rmdir date time. So these are the commands available here. right? Okay, I think yes, those key. Menu color is there. Menu color command that is there. Time is there. Tree command is there. Okay, let's find Alt C to contents. Back. Alt B to back. Alt B. One more time we can go back. So I can go to the file and exit, but here you can see it's not available. I have to say F letter, then X letter to exit. No other way, right? This is the help. So let's try QBasic. Okay, so this is asking press enter to. Okay, this is what the QBasic is, right? So here there's a help, and you can see file menu. All the menus are there. Here you can see in the top menus are there, but you have to use using Alt key, ALT. Then you can see edit, file, new, search, run. Right. This is how if you want to exit about index topic and here file X letter to exit. All these need to be done using commands and the keyboard. So here this is tree commands will show all the tree directories, directory tree. And also if you need the time command, you can use time. It's showing the current time and asking me to type a new time if I want to change this. I don't want, so I'm entering it as blank, so it remains. But if I type the command again and if I change the time, it will be applied. Like let's change it to 6:20. And when I check the time now, so it should be 6:20. You can see it has changed. So according to the instruction given. Similarly, you can add date. So if you believe that date is incorrect, you can change. The month is, let's say, 7 and 7. Let's put date is, for an example, date 28 is wrong, but I'm just putting 2022 or 22. Press enter. MM is correct. Month, sorry, month is 7. Date 28. Year 22. Oh, why is that? Month, date, year. Let's put enter. Okay. Date command back again. Okay. So date is okay. 07. So let's say 20. Okay, 30. 2022. Ah, yes. So you have to do the full year. Then only it works. Now 30. I have changed that to date 30. So let me check that again. You can see now date is 30. I can change back again 07, 29, 2022. So this is how the commands were used in that previous version of DOS. Right? This is how the commands were used. And so this is GUI operating system, Windows 95, a GUI operating system. And there were some games also, you can just explore that also. These games, here this is Windows 95, let's see. And then by accessing that, you can go to the simulators related to the particular. You can see it starting, right? So I have to set up Windows. First of all, I have to set up Windows 95. And finally, so after setting up, it's loading, I think it's already set up, seems. Let it load. This is how Windows 95 looks like earlier days. See here, it's very slow because like the computers were really slow those days. The random access memories was even less than 1 megabyte. So these hard disks are all in megabyte levels, very small. That's why it takes time. And this is the interface. Okay, you can see this is how Windows 95 looks like. This was very old version of Windows, maybe even before you burn. And this has nice programs like MS-DOS prompt, accessories, startup. This is a notepad, settings, control panel. This one is GUI. That means you can right-click and create folder. Right-click, new folder, and that will be created for you. Let's give a name, Dasun, that. And if I want to access the same using command prompt, this has the command prompt itself. Command prompt inside that. You can argue command line DOS but that is there as a command prompt. Still currently also with the Windows you can get the command prompt. But that is to type the commands. Let's go back now in the C drive, dir command to see the directories, and you can see multiple directories are there this time. I need to go to CD Windows. dir. You can see a lot of our desktop here. You can see CD desktop. Then dir, and you can see there's a folder called Dasun here, because in the desktop the Dasun folder is available. Likewise, you can move inside folders and files. If you want to move inside Dasun folder, CD Dasun. Now you are inside that. And let's create a file notepad abc.txt. You can see asking to create a new file. And let's type hello inside that and file save it. Close it. And if I put dir, you can see abc.txt file is there. So if you go inside and see, that file should be there. abc.txt, that file is there. If you want to delete that file, you can use del command, del abc.txt. Now see the file is deleted, so you cannot see that anymore. So if you want to go back, cd double dot. If you want to erase Dasun, you can say rd. Or let's see the color command. Is it working here? No, it's not working even here. So color command I think introduced later. Right? Okay, now I think you have idea about this command line interfaces and graphical use. Graphical user interface has icons, nicely created icons, mouse pointer. You can double click and open it. So you have a lot of features in GUI, but in CLI you have limited features. Everything need to be given using commands. To get this exposure, I recommend you to go to this website and access these things, right? Please access these things and get the experience how old computing world looks like. Just access this website. Okay, now let's write down this. So please write down the resource management done by the operating system. Resource management in operating systems. Please write down the heading. And also please write down the first one, process management. I'll explain that after you write. Please write down the highlighted part. Right, operating system. Mainly we learn operating system provide two things. That is, one thing is operating system is providing interface, user interface. That is to interact with. We saw that user interface can be CLI, command line interface, or it can be GUI, user interface එක CLI commands හරහා වෙන්න පුළුවන් අපි computer එක්ක වැඩ කරන්නේ අපිට ඇතුලේ දේවල් පේන්නේ නැහැ පුතේ. We can only see the outline. We cannot see what is going on inside. So what is happening in the hard disk? So what is really happening in the floppy drive? What is happening in the memory? What's about the processor? That those things we cannot see. අපිට ඒවා පේන්නේ. We cannot see anything. But we think that when creating folder එකක් හැදුණා. When deleting that, it's deleted. When you go inside, we are inside the folder. That is only what we can feel. We cannot feel what is going inside the hardware. So that is the nature of operating system. That is why called the user interface. එතකොට මේ GUI එකෙත් එහෙම තමයි. In GUI also the same. When you create folder, delete folder, rename folder, create file, you cannot see what is going on in your hardware devices. ඒවා පේන්නේ නැහැ. So that is one main goal of operating system, providing the user interface. The second main goal is it's working as a resource manager. Resource manager. So why an organization needs manager? Why an organization needs manager? Because when there are limited resources, right? When there are limited resources and these resources are accessed by multiple parties on sharing basis, you need someone to be as a manager. So some සීමිත සම්පත් ප්‍රමාණයක් තියෙනවා නම් මේ සම්පත් මිනිස්සු ගොඩක හවුලේ භාවිතා කරනවා නම් අපිට ඒක පාලනය කරන්න කෙනෙක් ඕන වෙනවා. ඇයි ප්‍රධාන වශයෙන්ම පාලනය කරන්න ඕන සම්පත් ප්‍රමාණය සීමිත නිසා සහ ඒක පොදුවේ අපි භාවිතා කරන නිසා. මෙතනදිත් එහෙමමයි. So since there are limited resources and we are using this, all the programs are using this limited resources, we need a manager. So one main thing is process management. Right? So in nowadays, in today's day, computers, or in nowadays, these computers, we can execute more than one process, but earlier days it was only so one process at a time. Like කලින් බලන්න dir command එක ගහුවොත් dir command එක විතරයි. You can't write it. You can't put any other command. Only dir command. So if you put, let's say you are going to type cls command, only cls, md command, only md command. But now then computers are එහෙම නැහැ. While downloading a file, you can play music. So while playing music, you can create folder. So all these things, multiple processes are running simultaneously. Therefore, it needs to be managed. So which processes to be prioritized, which need more, which need access to memory, which need access to input-output devices. Likewise, when more than one processes are running, we need to coordinate, we need to manage these processes. So what are the processes running on the operating system computer? So it can be system processes, it can be virus scan like process, or it can be when there are multiple processes. For an example, when there are system processes, virus scanning process, it will be given more priority. So more priority will be given to that. So these processes will give more priority. Sorry, I don't know. Okay, then why these system processes are given high priority? Because these are critical to the system. Antivirus, because it's affecting systems, need to give higher priority. Okay, then right, the normal processes, the other processes are given low priority. So when a new process arrives, the current process will be paused or sometimes terminated, or it's given some other time. Right, when a new process arrives, the other process need to be allocated. So this is like, so this is called interrupt driven nature, interrupt driven nature. So for an example, okay, when you are, when I'm doing the lesson, okay, let's say I got a call, then I have to mute this and address the call and come back. So that is nature, right? ඕන අපිත් ඔහම තමයි. අපි තමු පාරේ වාහනයක් drive කර ඉඳිද්දි කවුරු හරි මිනිස්සෙක් මැද්දෙන් පනිනවා. ඉතින් අපි brake එකක් ගහලා තමයි යන්න ඕනේ. එහෙම අපි යන වේගෙන් යන්නේ නැහැ නේ. මිනිස්සයා පැනනට කරන්න දෙයක් නැහැ කිය. So likewise, so it's interrupt driven, right? මේ processes computer එකේ run වෙද්දි දැන් මම මෙම run වෙවිදිදී minimize කරොත් එයා minimize කරන එකට උත්තර දීලා තමයි ඉතුරු ඒවා බලන්නේ. It's like that. It says it didn't deny. Right? It didn't deny. ඒක බෑ කිව්වේ නැහැ. එයා බෑ කියන්නේ නැතුව ඒකට උත්තර දීලා යන්නේ. ඉතින් ඒ හින්දා processes ගොඩක් run වෙද්දී, so there is a way when there are multiple processes running, there is always a way when there are multiple processes running in your computer. So it need to be coordinated, and so all the processes must be given fair schedule, a fair chance to run. Some processes need to be prioritized. Some processes need low priority, some need high priority. Some processes are running simultaneously. Right? එක සැරේ run වෙන process තියෙනවා, එක සැරේ parallelly. එතකොට some processes need more memory, some need less memory. All these allocation, resource allocation need to be handled. Right? Okay. So here, so when there are simultaneous processes are running, then also you need to, when there are simultaneous process, then also you need to sequence, you need to order this. For an example, if you print your name, వాళ్ళకి నమ print කරන ගමන්ම නම type කරොත්, so whatever you write first will be printed. හරි, දැන් print කරලා මම type කරන ගමන් මම දැන් print වෙනකොට edit කරනවා. But this edited name will not be printed, so it will be like so while printing process started, then the editing process will not be considered for the printing process. While printing, if you need to edit the name, those edits will not be considered the current printing process as it's already assigned and print call කරලා ඉවරලා අපි edit කරාට වැඩක්. So that means there is always a sequence. Right? Oh, okay. So this is what you can see how complex this is to the computer. But what you need to know, there are multiple processes running. There are simultaneous processes running. So some need to be prioritized, some need to be given less priority. All need to be assigned resources. And there is a sequence of running these processes. When a new process arrives, the other processes will be temporarily paused to give attention to the new process. And so accordingly, according to the need, it will be continued. So this is what the process management is. I hope you have written down this part. So next, please take a screenshot of this. I'll discuss and write down this in your book. Memory management, please take a screenshot and please write down in your book. I'll be explaining this next day. Right? Please take a screenshot and write down in your book later as a homework. Then I'll be explaining this next week. Good night.